Opie Radio.
What the fuck?
The Opie Radio podcast.
What the fuck is he talking about?
I'm confused.
No, I make fun.
Okay, so we have finally settled down at Mike Bichetti's house. Thanks once again for having us, Mikey.
Thank you, guys. We got my friend Sal here. Opie, thank you. Mike is with us. He's a cool guy, too. It was fun, man.
Your mom's a treat.
My mom was a trip.
She really is a trip. What's her story? How did she meet your dad?
Oh, I think he won her in the crap game. No, I'm only kidding.
The dog didn't like that one.
No, they met at a blind...
I think the dog is pissed off at the steak you guys just served him.
No, they met in a blind date,
Ungrateful
actually.
fuck.
But they met in a blind date.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Mom, I just cursed in your house. I'm really sorry.
What'd you do?
I cursed. I apologize.
Uh-oh. That's it. That's throwing you out.
She's going to throw me out, she
Nah,
said.
she
She's
won't
yelling
throw
from
you
the
out.
top of the stairs, Mike.
She may say a couple rosaries on your behalf.
I'll do a Hail Mary, I promise.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
She should like that because... No, what was I saying now? I forgot.
Blind date.
Oh, blind date. And my dad was from my mom was from Manhattan originally, right? My dad was from Staten Island, but on the North Shore. Staten Island, have you guys been out here that much or no?
No, Staten Island is a really strange place because it's not easy to get to. So a lot of New Yorkers don't really go to Staten Island.
Sal can tell you about how it is out here, too.
I love it.
No, but it's like in certain areas, it's still a scene from Donnie Brasco. And then certain areas on the North Shore, it's Boys in the Hood. And then, we have hipsters now by the ferry, though.
You know what's annoying is a lot of people shit, especially all the comics, they always shit on Staten Island. But we have a place to park in front of our house. We got trees, parks, American flags outside the house.
Backyards.
You know?
Yeah.
Backyards.
Backyard. I was just in Mike's backyard.
So
Yeah, and Sal does the podcast with Mike Bichetti. I noticed you didn't fully commit to the neck tattoo.
I fully committed when I was 21, Ope, and I spent $50 on it. I was on drugs back then. I was 20. And I've spent $600 so far in tattoo removals to get it.
Really?
That's why it's fading, yeah.
Oh, so it was a full neck tattoo.
It was just said the word, but it was a lot darker. It's so stupid, right?
What was the word?
It says free, Opie.
Yeah!
He's a badass, though. Sal was in the military for real.
I could tell. I kind of sized up Sal when I got in this house.
Did you?
He's no joke, yeah.
No, he was like a parrot jumping out of planes and he'll kill you with a fucking butter knife. I love him.
Jeez, Mike.
I knew some real badasses, you know.
I was being a little obnoxious, but let's.
No, I love the military because I was a fake military guy. He'll fucking kill you with a fucking penknife.
Well, Mike says he was a fake military guy because he went to training in the Marines and then left early, right? I didn't finish my term either. You know, I was kicked out for alcohol rehabilitation and failure. You know, I'm okay today, but I was fucked up back then.
Yeah, but he was jumping out of planes. I can't even jump up a stepladder. You know.
The Marines got mad on the old radio show when you talked about
Oh yeah, I don't want to
your
talk
time.
about them. But
You don't want-
Semper Fi, guys, hoorah, guys, kill some more people for us and keep us safe. But the thing is, like I was saying earlier, I think what happened to you was a fucking travesty in this.
Oh, you think?
No, I'm serious.
I'm now hanging out in your house. What do you think?
No. I mean that sincerely.
Dog that wants to bite me on the ankle.
I mean that sincerely.
No, thanks, Mike. All kidding aside, I was devastated when they let me go. It's serious.
No, more devastating is that I can for an hour at least, I could name people that are national headliners now and bigger. People are on TV all over movies, the millionaires themselves now that just fucking went.
What do you
Turn
mean?
their back on you. They're like,
Not only
he don't have this, bad mouth, or saying all kinds of fucking nonsense and stuff, right? And you know what? I hate this business so much sometimes.
What do you think that's about, Mike? Because, look, I'm not completely innocent, obviously. We all have our issues, and we've done things to people. So, all right, fair enough. So some of the stuff, is justified. But why do you think that, so many people have now decided they have to stab me in the back and talk shit about me now that I don't have this big radio show? What do you think it's about?
People are super self-absorbed in this business because it's about what can you do for me lately? That's the main thing. And it's like I said, my friends in this are who I like as people. I don't care. If someone's famous and they're an asshole, I don't want to be a friend of them. I don't care what they can do for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I like you as a person, you're my friend. Most people like a chess game, he can get me to this, that guy will do this, they'll do that. No, it's about having great work done, keeping your mouth shut, and getting along with everybody you can.
So it's safe to say a lot of those relationships I had over the years were not real, huh?
It depends who it is. Some
It
guys,
was real because I had the big show, and then the show goes away. I really have found out who my true friends are.
Oh, yeah.
And I found out what a lot of these people are made of. I still have plenty of friends,
Of
you know,
course.
and a
Have
bunch
any
of
of those guys stuck around since? Because as from a fan's point of view, when it became just Opie Radio, your show became the only show I was listening to, even though I was fans of everybody else. And I couldn't figure out in my head, as somebody who's just a fan and then following the YouTube shit, what they would say about you on the other side, and then what you were trying to say. Was any of the shit true? Like, that you were just always an asshole behind the scenes? You know, as a fan, I don't know.
I mean, I unfortunately played the role of boss, so that comes with a lot of tough things you got to do. I hired most of the people. I had to fire most of the people. I had to deal with everyone's issues at Sirius XM. And those guys, all they had to do was show up and be funny on the radio and leave immediately.
You know what
I was the
really-
one that was taking all the meetings. So,
it's like you've been an agent, a manager, or
Well, some of it-
producer, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like,
and some of it was certainly some of it was true, but also it's based on very, very old information. I realized a long time ago that I kind of had an anger problem. Like I would be frustrated with people around me, and I would yell and scream. Who doesn't? Thank you. But I would yell and scream to try to get my way and try to get my point across. Realize when you do that, even though you know you're right with what you're saying, no one's going to listen to you. They think you're a complete and utter asshole.
How are they taking it? And you know where I related to you was because when I started, I mean, obviously your show is a behemoth, and my podcast is like a little speck of sand. But when I started my podcast, it was just me, and then after a year or so, I met with these other comics networking, and then I started working with them. But now there's more voices at the table. So it's like when Opie created his show back in the day. Now he's got Anthony on with him. Now Jim Norton comes. Sometimes other people on the show, they start clicking together, and then I could see or maybe even hear, now you're sitting there, you're like, this is my show. I also want to bring my show in a certain direction, but sometimes the guy steering the ship, sometimes the sails are blowing different ways, and I can see where a lot of your frustration came from sometimes.
Yeah,
You're trying to go here, and then other people at the table are pulling it this way. You know what I mean? So I saw a lot of times where you were kind of like, all right, this conversation, you know.
Wow, Sal's really smart.
He's
Mike.
I go
Keep
through
it. Stick with this guy.
I go through it.
No, because that's a really good point, and I'll admit this today too. Like when you have three guys, you're gonna have two that are tighter, and I was definitely the odd man out.
Right, sometimes
Because Jimmy and Ant got really close
Yeah.
and bonded, and maybe at that point, they should have just kind of moved on and done their own thing.
And it's not to say it's a bad thing, but I can see where when it's your show and you're going, well, these two people are closer. And I used to, as a fan, listen, and you would go, okay, well, maybe in a year we don't continue with this. And we just go our own ways and do our own things. And as a selfish fan, I was going, no, fucking don't break it up. But I get why now you're like, in a peaceful way, I'm going to go do my thing and have fun, and you can go do your thing and have
Well,
fun.
the interesting thing about that, I get a lot of hate that I was the one that broke up Opie and Anthony. I never broke up Opie and Anthony. Anthony got fired.
But what about them saying you could have fought for Anthony more?
We absolutely fought for Anthony. I mean, he likes to spin that now. We also were under contract, so we couldn't leave right away. They were threatening us with all sorts of stuff.
I don't think you should have left because of the contract thing. But I mean...
Anthony never asked me to join him when he was fired. When he was fired.
Even when you made the video?
If he wasn't fired, the Opie and Anthony brand would have continued in some way.
When you made the video about... it kind of was misleading that you were going to be Anthony's new co-host, but then you told us, no, I'm not, before Artie came on. In my head, I was thinking, did Anthony ever ask him and Opie just didn't want to go? Did that ever happen? Did he ever offer you to that spot?
I was offered to go over to Compound Media through Keith. Me and
As a
Anthony
co-host,
officially
or?
never... Well, no, then Ant sort of reached out and said it would be cool. But at that point, it wasn't the right place for me because I needed to move on and do my own thing. And at this point, it was years have gone by since the O&A show. So I took it very seriously. And in the end, I'm like, that's just not the place for me. Nothing against those guys over there, but I want to do a whole, different thing. And somehow that spun into, now I really got to hate you even more.
Do you know when you turned me? Because I didn't know who to like more or whatever.
But I don't care who people like more.
No, I know
That's
you
not
don't.
coming
But
from me.
I want to say, when your point of view, you don't want to deal with that though. And I see a lot of fans, they pick sides.
It's ridiculous.
And as a fan of both, there was a day you turned me. I remember it was when it was towards the end of Opie and Jim. And one day you just said it all. It was like an hour long, and you talked about when you said Anthony didn't even when he left your wedding, or when you said he hasn't even met my second kid. Right. I remember my wife used to hate when I would just play the show all the time because she doesn't want to hear it all. But I remember that day, even she was quiet. We were listening together. I was like, listen to this. Like, the real shit's coming out. And I was like, you know what? I could see it from Opie's point of view at this point, after 20 years. You haven't seen his kid. You left the wedding. I just got married a year ago. If one of my people I've known for 20 years just got up and took some of the wedding and left,
right?
What the fuck is that?
Wow, Sal's bringing up some dirt.
Yeah, Sal's
I was deeply hurt because we got married in Philly at the Ritz-Carlton, and Ant decided that was a perfect weekend to plan a trip to Atlantic City. So not only did he not stay for plates, plates. They didn't stay for the main part of the wedding because they moved on to Atlantic City, and he brought a whole bunch of the staff with him. So not only did he leave, he left with a whole bunch of people and thought this was the perfect time to go to Atlantic City.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I can't say who's right or wrong in any of it, but just when you explain that situation, all I see is if I was sitting at the dais, like people standing up, you're pretty much saying I have something more important to do than this, the most important moment in Opie's life.
100%. So, but I did fight for him. He thinks I didn't fight for him enough.
Yeah, but there's only so much you can do because you know how brutal the suits are fucking brutal animals.
But he was already building his home studio. He left. He got fired. We talked a little bit, and there was no conversations in there. Why don't we try to do this on our own for my new studio? It never came up.
Wow.
So for me to get all the hate for breaking up the O&A show, it's just simply not true.
I could see if you didn't fight for him. I could see why, though. Once again, putting myself in your shoes. If I wasn't getting along so great with somebody, this was kind of a natural way to let you go do your own thing from now on. And who could blame you for feeling that way? It wasn't you actually blowing the show up. Sirius was doing it for you. So if that did happen, what you're saying it didn't, you fought for him, I would be like, I wouldn't fault the guy for doing that,
I fought for all my guys many, many times. Jimmy knows how many times I fought for him. Anthony knows how many times I fought for him. When me and Anthony got back, when me and Anthony started, and he literally didn't know anything about this business, he was a quick learner and really knows what he's doing. I'll give props when it's necessary. But when we moved to Boston, I was the radio guy, and he was in air conditioning, but a natural talent.
He's like me, a blue-collar worker who wants to break it. I always saw that and was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's why people really could relate to Anthony, of course. And then we go up to Boston, and we had this PD, Dave Douglas, and he pulled me, and knows this story, pulls me aside and was feeling me out. He's like, why Anthony? In the break room. I go, what do you mean, why, Anthony? You were listening to the show? Why are you even asking that question? That's ridiculous. But he was feeling me out because he wanted to get rid of Anthony at the time. And I went to Bruce Mittman and basically said, what is Dave Douglas doing? He doesn't see the chemistry and how we got a good thing going on here. But Anthony knows that story, So he knows I stuck up for him all those years.
That's what the suits did to me on DirecTV, Audie told me, because they were like, he's not right for this, and all kinds of shit. But the thing is, like, when I had an argument with Audie, the fans ganged up on me, you know what I mean? They were like, oh, Audie's a legend. I'm like, why can't I be? You know what I mean? They're just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, the heroin deals are like, shut up, Mike, he's our best customer.
No, what you said about earlier about yelling at people is, I would rather be yelled at, right, than have fucking people cut my throat any day. But I want to hear honesty.
No, I should finish that, though. So then I knew that was one of my issues. I've worked on a lot of my issues over the years, and I'm like, you can't yell at anyone anymore. No, everyone just looks at you like you're a complete and utter asshole.
It's just a projection of what you're going through.
Yeah, so that's really old news the days when I was kind of an asshole to people around me because it was pure frustration, and it was also pure frustration. It was also pure frustration that I was the one that had to deal with all that crap.
Because at the end of the day, your name's on the show. It's coming back on you. So I get that.
But I'll say this, and then we can move on to other things. I wish those guys nothing but the best. I've taken some shots here and there, of course, because I get an avalanche of hate coming from. The
net is horrible. I fucking hate
coming from Anthony. If you told me all these years later that the majority of the hate toward me would be coming from the guy that we did a radio show together, I would say you're insane.
When you were quiet for the longest, I remember thinking, like, this stuff's coming out from that side. Why isn't Opie saying anything? And then finally, I guess you felt like you had to say something. And you finally said everything that happened, and it's like, okay, here it all is. But I heard Jim Norton say something one day. He said, Opie wasn't saying things on the air about it, but that's why a lot of stuff never came out about how he was behind the scenes. So what I'm not going to.
But Jimmy was no treat behind the scenes. Anthony was no treat behind the scenes. Sure. They know. I mean, I don't want to go. I don't want to. I mean, we already went into the mud, but I mean, the fact is, most of the hate's coming from over there. I respond when I have to, but I'm just moving on. I know the Opie and Anthony show is really important to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, still
It's
is.
important to radio in general.
Yeah, I understand that, and I take that very seriously. But I also like living in the present, which I'm doing now. And for some reason, other people associated with the radio show they just don't want to let it go.
Morons.
Well, when I ask you these questions, Opie, and I thank you for taking the questions, it's only because, not that you're talking about anybody right now. It's as a fan. Hey, this is questions as a fan. Sometimes you had comics come on and other people who are familiar with the show who got to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
This is kind of what the fans want to know, and it's awesome that we all get to talk about it.
Well, thanks for nothing, Sal. No, I don't mind talking about it, but I also I just want to move on.
Yeah.
I just want to move on.
Yeah, but you have to, because you know why? That's the only way things are going to change, because
well, I also hate the people that say, well, they're fighting with each. I'm not fighting with anybody. Like on a regular basis, they're taking shots at me, and every once in a while, I'll comment on something.
What it is? It feeds the media. I hate the social media, because the only thing I really like having is a cell phone, right? Twitter, Reddit, Facebook are full of fucking morons that are assholes. They're fucking Twitter warriors, you know what I mean? If you got them in a house, they'd be living in the same basement I am, asking their mom for fucking ice cream money.
Well, I said it on an earlier podcast, like fighting with someone on Twitter is like fighting a ghost.
No, you're right. Because
you can't do it.
I want to lunge at them, though, and fucking kill them in the house.
And they love hearing this, but it is the truth. You will never win if you take on a hater. You will never win. They'll win every single time.
Stalk them down, though. You know what I mean?
One reason why they'll win is because they'll just simply just lie and make up all sorts of shit about you, and which is not true. And you're like, I can't compete with that shit.
Before we move on from this stuff, can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
All right. So, when you left, and then Jim and Sam took over the morning show, right? You said that they fucked you. They claimed no, it just was the natural progression of things. Was it? Did they really do anything? I don't know, but did they really do anything to usurp your position and take it?
Me and Jimmy had the same agent at the time.
So was it your agent's fuck up? Thinking,
Well,
let me go with these guys?
I wasn't happy that he was also representing the show that was replacing me. And there was some dirty shit that was happening. Absolutely.
If you were in their position and you were them, and then they came to you and said, "We can give you the morning show," would you have taken it? What could they have done different?
What could they have done?
By the way, I liked you better in the afternoon. I love that.
Oh, that version of the show was great.
Afternoon is better than morning.
I'm tired in the morning. But go ahead. So what would you have done different if you were them?
I would have never been in that position because I was tight with the company. I would have figured something else out. Because they could have simply done any other shift on the channel. The whole channel was wide open. They didn't need to do that. And it's a terrible position to be in because, you got to compete against Howard and everyone else. And
Jason Ellis.
I honestly don't have Sirius anymore, but I don't hear any buzz on the show.
I almost didn't have Sirius anymore. I saw they're charging me $20 a month now.
Really?
So I called up and I was like, hey, you fired Anthony, then you fired Opie.
Whoa! Officially, they let me go.
I'm sorry. So you let Opie go.
After a year, I settled all differences with Sirius XM.
Oh, nice. Congrats. And then I said, and then you fired Nick DiPaolo. You literally have nobody I want to listen to anymore except Jim and Sam. I'm not paying $20 a fucking month for that, so cancel me. And then they broke me down to $5
I don't know what Sal is talking about. I don't know anything. You want to see the scar? They gave me the scar from Planet of the Apes. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm having a good time to be here. This is fun because I want to hammer some fucking idiots, really. I got a lot of fucking...
And how you doing after your heart attack?
Good. It feels good to be still here.
I was also blamed for your heart attack, by the way.
Why?
No, you know what?
Speaking of people having, to just continue. Why? Because he did the Doritos Super Bowl commercial.
No, it had nothing to do with it. Because
Forget generalized obesity. It was Opie's fault.
No, but no.
Obama, the way you
what happened was, God bless him. Club Soda said to me, he goes, "You're going to have a heart attack." That's what he said. Something like that. He goes, "You got too much anger in you." He goes like this, "You got to chill." I loved him. He was a gentle giant to me. He's like, "Relax, buddy. Take it easy. Do some yoga." I'm like, I'm not a yoga guy. But he tried to chill me down. And then, like I said, I think 4 days later it happened to me. But you know what, though?
Wait, 4 days after Club Soda Kenny said you were going to have a heart attack, you had one?
No, he was like, what do you call it? Relax. You're going to give yourself a stroke or heart attack.
Yeah. And it happened 4 days
It
later?
happened like 4 days later, but
And walk me through that. What happened? Because I read
what happened
I
was-
read one of the articles out there, and they basically said you laid down on a planter in New York City or something and waited for the paramedics to show
that's
up.
part of it.
No, walk me
Surrounded
through
by
it.
quarters, people
Okay,
go.
what happened was I did a show called The Creepy Corner. These guys are really nice guys, right? Coming home from the city, all of a sudden I got really super tired, like I never would in my life. Started sweating, right? Now, from having a history of heart disease, I know the symptoms, right? All of a sudden, my chest feels like it's on fire. Wow. You can't even move. You can't even move an inch, right? Grab my phone, call 911. And as you know it, the phone was acting up a little bit while I'm calling 911. I'm like, oh no, right? So I called 911. I said I'm at 35th and 6th Avenue, right? I was laying on a plant. I was so couldn't even move, right? I get there, we get stuck in traffic. The ambulance driver's cursing his ass off in traffic. I'm laughing my ass off trying to keep the best of it because I thought it was funny he's cursing his ass off in traffic, right? We get there, right? I get inside the thing. I have a stent right now, right? And I felt when I put the stent on, the doctors like just went off on me like they did with Serpico and movie, ripping your clothes off, doing it quick because they got to act fast, right? And I was in the ICU unit for like a day, but ICU felt like the Waldorf Hotel up there, like because I was like, well, red skin potatoes, salmon. I'm like, yeah, right. Hot Asian nurse. I'm like, yeah, baby, this is incredible, right? Then when I got sent to the regular room, I was like, felt like I was in Motel 6 in Indiana, like they're sending the fucking kitchen staff to see how I was feeling. Like 3 hours later, right? And there was some guy that was an old Russian guy that was in a lot of pain. He was screaming his ass off in the middle of the night. You don't know how close I came to Luca Bracci and him because he had me fucking up all night, right? And I'm an idiot, right? When I got to the hospital, there were all Hasidic Jewish people outside, and I'm like, I think I died when they seen me because I'm like, they are God's chosen people. I'm like half groggy, and I go, wait a minute, I can't be dead because I heard them fighting about hospital bills in the hallway. So then, such idiot that I am, all my doctors came to see me like a couple days, see how I'm feeling. And I said to my doctor, I knew I was safe because you look like Seinfeld. Right? Right? And what I didn't realize was a couple of people with yarmulkes on, and they like kind of laughed and giggled, and I'm thinking, they're going to fucking turn me into a vegetable. Later on tonight, someone will be pulling my plug in the middle of the night over there. Right? But I kept my composure. I didn't panic. That's why I'm still here. So I'm back in the ambulance. You got all these crazy thoughts going through your head. You're like, I'm thinking to myself, holy crap. In 20 minutes, I might be playing baseball with Babe Ruth for batting practice. Dimebag Darrell will be teaching me how to wail on the guitar. Right? Having dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln. I was having all these crazy thoughts like that going through your head.
I can listen to you forever. I can listen all day. Go ahead, Mike.
And it was incredible but the thing is, I said to God in the thing, I go, look, if you want to take me back home now, I'm good with this. You know, I said, but if you want to keep me here longer, that's even better.
But I would appreciate it if you kept me here a little longer.
But it's crazy because the diet changed so much. Like when I used to go to to do your show right up in Sirius, I'd like have a hot dog and a pretzel and soda, wash it down. Then I'd come back home with a big hero sandwich like this, like a foot-long thing with like melted roast beef, mozzarella in there, and like put it in the oven and like finish it down like a gallon of soda, you know what I mean? And no wonder why my arteries were like, this is what my arteries were, right? Clogged, 100, 70, and 30.
Jeez.
That's like
You're
almost
lucky.
all the way through.
Right.
Right? And I'm like, but everything is good now. And the thing is, but once in a while I'll lay in bed and feel a pain and I'll be like, feel like I'm going to die like the Godfather on my garden back there, fall into the fig tree.
grabbing a fig.
I'm grabbing a fig going like this, screaming my ass off going, but I hope it's like a really like theatrical heart attack where like I fall and I'm screaming like Vito Corleone.
Well, there's gonna be it'll be different though. You're laying on the ground with a fig next to you, and that yip yip dog's gonna be yipping around your body.
I should be like checking my pocket, like
right.
Have my wallet in the mouth running upstairs.
Wondering where its steak is.
I picked up. I met Mike today outside his house when we were getting ready for you guys to come down here. And he goes, all right, let's run to the deli to get some waters and stuff for the guys. And he's like, it's so hot. I couldn't even breathe yesterday. He goes, I just pictured dying in the garden like Vito Corleone. And I got to remember, I hang out with Mike. Yeah, he's a bit older. He's had a heart attack. I always forget that. Like, when he comes to my house, now that we do the podcast up in the attic, and my wife is like, do you realize he's got to walk up all these stairs? What if something happens? Or I give him a coffee, and he's like,
he gives me like great coffee that's juiced up, like this coffee.
And what if I kill him?
No, but the thing is, like, thanks to you, I didn't realize how young my fan base is. You know what that means in Hollywood? We're in the money. That's what it means because...
Yeah, it looks like you're in the money, Mike.
No, but in the long run, when you think about it, right, Sal could be my son. He's super young, right? All his friends are in their 20s, and they know me, thanks to you for listening. My fan base is super young. Comics my age are going shopping for lawn furniture.
Sure. And I think you share a fan base with the Kardashians, now that I think about it.
No. They super... I'm serious. 20s.
Yeah. There's a lot of blacks.
I don't care. Whoever pays the rent, don't matter.
What's not that?
Do you like the blacks?
Yes.
Okay. I like the blacks, too.
Me, I like blacks, Native Americans, Jewish people, cool, too, because that's where the casserole is going to come from, and they won't take bullshit from people.
Which group are you little,
I'm Jewish. I love them.
No, what group don't you like? That's what he's saying.
I don't care. I just don't like assholes.
What were you just telling me?
All right. Wow.
Mike doesn't suffer a bully. He hates bullies. I'll tell you
Bully,
everything.
I would like to take bullies and fucking smash them in the ground and just leave them there.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, no one actually likes a bully, No,
but the thing is, there's different levels of bullies, you know what I mean? Like, when we went to school, our generation of people I liked, because, like, if you got in a fight with somebody then, you just fucking popped them in the nose and it was done, right? You tell it to somebody 20-something years old now, like, oh my God, pop them in the nose, give them a timeout and take them to fucking Dunkin' Donuts, you know what I mean? And not like they don't get it,
Right. All right, Mike. I think we did it.
I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome.
I think we did it. Between the tour of the house and sitting down and having Sal drill me like I'm...
That was a full-blown interrogation by Sal. I've never seen anything like that.
Sal has a military... I always say this. Sal has a military mind. They're different than other people.
I didn't mind anything, trust me. So,
but I hope you like my idea because you know what? I think there could be something good.
Yeah, where you travel the country, even though you can't walk up a flight of stairs
to
do the podcast with Sal. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
No, when it comes to cash, I'll freaking do cartwheels.
Of course you will.
Can I say something? And this is going to be really gay. All right, Mike, can you handle this? As a fan, and then started doing comedy. My dream is I was like, one day I will sit and I will do radio on Opie's show.
Hey, Sal, guess what? Not the radio. Podcast.
And look at this. A dream came true today.
He loves you. I'm telling you.
Damn it.
Wow.
But he's a huge fan forever. That's why I brought him here.
I told my boss, I said, my wife's pregnant and diabetic. I got to take her to the doctor. And he's like, all right, you do that. And here I am.
Okay. I do have to say to the fan base, the old fan base, I just wish everyone would just kind of get on the same page a little bit.
They don't want to.
And just enjoy, what we were able to accomplish during that time.
Though, if that happened.
They're not happy with themselves.
It's reality TV, oh.
Yeah, but you're not going to have me as a big participant in it. I'm moving on and just trying to do new things.
Because I don't want to go on the
I even wish Jimmy and Anthony the best.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... Whatever. Maybe someday we'll sit down.
I got worried you weren't going to start doing this again when you took a little while to get back.
It was tough. I went through some tough times a year ago. I was shocked when they let me go. It started out as a firing. Now it's officially a let go. I was wandering around for 3 months completely and utterly lost because that's all I know how to do. And then I had to kind of... Now I'm going to sound a little... I had to kind of find myself a little bit, So that's why I was doing a lot of fishing. That's why my social media was basically
great for the brain.
It was all. It's like it's kind of meditative. You should look into meditation, Mike. And then I kind of got myself together with people that I really do care about, my wife and my friends and family. And
I'm glad you're here. This is so much fun.
And then this opportunity presented itself, and I knew it was time to get back into this.
In radio, you get fired a few times. It happens. As a carpenter, I get laid off every, maybe twice a year. And I know when I come home and tell my wife I'm laid off, she gets very nervous until I get another job. I was always wondering, when you would get laid off, I'm fired, or you had these little stints in between till you got the next gig. Was your wife ever worried, you know what I mean? As a man, I have to provide, so I would always get scared in those moments.
No,
you ever worried?
No, my wife couldn't be cooler. She knows I don't even, radio doesn't define me anymore. There was a time it really, really did. And she's like, we'll be fine no matter what. She knows I like doing this, but she didn't care in the very least. She was only with me for one firing. I've been fired, I don't even know anymore. We're 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
but I always knew
Sam Kennison would have been fired now.
Yeah, I always knew that there was another
thing?
gig around the corner. But this last time, when Sirius let me go a year ago, I was just plain exhausted and needed
the break.
just
There's one question I've been dying to ask you, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever have Sam Kennison on the show?
Dude, I do this because of Sam Kennison.
Oh, you
No, but hear me out.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a good story. So I have my mentor's brother Ruizing in Rochester. He, when I heard him coming through the speakers, he's a guy that's a legend in Rochester radio and known in my business big time.
Is he better health-wise? I remember you saying.
Oh, yeah. He's 70 years old, and he's just an animal. He drinks tequila with wine. This guy's an animal. For real. He has so much energy. I listen to him every morning thanks to iHeartRadio, through their app. But so I was doing radio the kind of the traditional way, working on my voice and having those golden pipes, which I never officially got. And I'm like, but I also found it to be kind of stupid, but I was young and still trying to figure it out. And 2 things happened. I was in my fraternity house in Geneseo, and someone was playing Brother Weeze's show, and I'm like, what the fuck is this voice coming through the speakers? It was a terrible voice, raspy, and it was almost like he couldn't finish his sentences, right?
Well,
but what he was saying was amazing, and it was way better than all these other guys with the polished voices. So that was the first thing. I'm like, wait a minute, you could do this very differently. You could be more yourself on the radio. And then, as luck would have it, I ended up moving to Rochester, and I worked for WCMF at the time where Weeze was, and Weeze took me under his wing. I'm like, now I'm hanging with the guy. This is crazy. And then he was friends with Sam Kennison. Wow. Sam Kennison came in, and he hung out for he came in a few times over the years, but the one time he stayed for 3 days, and it was just like 4 hours of Sam Kennison and Weeze on the radio. I was just a young kid. I got to be in the studio up on a cabinet way up near the ceiling with a little video camera. I wish I could find the video, by the way. I
love Sam. He's one of my favorites.
So the point is, though, I heard Sam Kennison, and I threw everything I knew out the window. I'm like, this guy is not following any formats. He doesn't care who he's pissing off. He's just speaking, whatever's in his head at the moment. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. I'm not trying to say I'm funny like Sam Kennison, but his style and how he didn't give two shits about anything.
He's a brilliant genius.
So between
There'll never be another Sam.
But that was one of those moments where a light went off in my head. I'm like, I'm doing it all wrong. And I started to kind of take a page from his book as far as that stuff goes. And then continue to think Weeze is just God to me.
And that's what you taught me about great radio. Don't put on the fake voice.
No.
Always be real. And sometimes you got to piss the establishment off a little bit because then the fans are on your side. Then you have power,
Yeah.
Which your last let go, right? I thought I was going to ask you, like, do you regret taking the video? But I'm not, because we all do stupid shit. What I want to ask you is, like, being a construction worker, there's two things I do, comedy and construction, where at work, in the workplace, the only places we shit on each other all day for fun.
Right.
Now, I know what level I could go to with different guys at work, because we really racial shit, how we look, homosexual jokes, and we love it. It's love, Now, if one of them turned around and got me in trouble, I would be shocked. When you got in trouble from Roland, were you like, oh my God, I thought we were cool, like this is kind of a betrayal? Did you feel that way?
This Sal guy is really smart. That's exactly why I was just devastated, because I'm like, he was one of our guys in our inner circle. I hired the guy, and he hung out with us all the time. I mean, besides the radio show, we would hang out a lot after the show, before the show.
I remember how tight he was with the man Cuban. So right. I'm like, now he just got the Cuban off the air, too.
I think in a way he was jealous that me and Carl started getting close to Cuban. But we kind of we were kind of aware of that, so we try to include him, and he was already included, but just make sure he was cool, you know what I'm saying? So, that day in the bathroom, which, by the way, the video, it's just a G-rated video, whatever. I was completely shocked because I was never going to post it unless he told me. The thing was really funny, and it was so funny we were laughing our asses off. I showed Roland the video, and he was even laughing, and I asked him, I go, Roland, can I post this? He said no. I'm like, And then next thing I know, the guy is avoiding me at work, and I don't see him anymore. And then I happen to go to another bathroom because the bathroom I was in, I don't know for what. I went upstairs. I forget why. There was another bathroom upstairs that no one really went to, and he was coming out of there, and I'm like, And I go, hey, Roland. It was the first time I saw him since the incident. He's like, literally he said that to me and kept walking. I'm like, what is going on?
Manager probably told him, don't use that other bathroom anymore.
Yeah, so next thing you know, it becomes this whole thing.
So you didn't realize that would be over the line with Tim personally?
God, no. Not for a moment.
Do you think he had it just out for you then? Like, this is where I could get Opie?
You're going to have to ask him.
I can't figure out why he would do that.
You can ask him.
He put a lot of people out of work.
You can ask him. So
Sal's a great investor.
No, you can ask him.
I gotta know, Mike, for my fans. I gotta ask these questions.
So the thing is that, you're obviously a fan of the radio show. All the stuff we did over the years, on air, off air, in bathrooms, outside, everywhere, right?
Right.
That was the
lie. Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
And I'm not trashing the company because, like I said, we have settled everything. It took a year.
Yeah. And what choice do they have if somebody does complain about that kind of thing? What choice do they have in this culture?
Sure, right. In this culture, they probably had to take Roland's complaint very seriously. I could kind of see it that way, but I also know what happened that day in the bathroom. There was nothing that was worth going to anyone about.
I wish I could see that video.
Well,
when I first seen you guys, not even on the radio, I seen you at the Garden when you guys worked with Andrew Dice Clay.
I just told that story on the podcast the other day.
I love Dice forever. I met him a couple of times.
Yeah.
The first time I met him, he was kind of a knucklehead to me. I met him at Caroline's, right? He was like, Jim Florentine introduced me. He goes, so you're a comic. What am I supposed to do about this? And I was like, for years, I was a huge fan of his. I'm like, what a knucklehead he is, right? Then I seen him on Ruizing radio show, right? Then he became a friendly to me. But then when he was on Artie's show with me, he said one of the best things I could ever hear as a comic. He goes, I watch the show all night. He goes, I'm a huge fan of yours now.
Wow. Yeah, Dice is awesome.
Which is I love him as a person.
I've lost touch with him a little bit over the years, but he's
a good guy.
He is awesome.
He's a good family man because he was telling us that people are like, where'd you go for all these years? When he took time off, he goes, I took time off to raise my sons and do the right thing.
And their sons are very talented musicians.
I love his kids.
Check out their stuff. It's amazing.
He's just a regular guy like you are. And the thing is, everybody thinks they gave him a hard time in this. Am I right or wrong for years?
Of course.
Right? The Suits hated him. But you know what? The bottom line in this is, your fans will kick the doors open.
Yeah.
The Suits are fucking an unnecessary evil.
And he put me on that Madison Square Garden stage. I'll never forget.
I remember that. I was freaked out.
I was just telling the story the other day, so I don't need to tell it again. But
2000. I loved it. I came there. Yeah. Jim Florentine invited me to come to see those guys, right?
Yeah.
So what happened was they snuck down in the front seats to go sit with us, right? And I was a goody two-shoes, and the cop came and goes, you don't belong here. I go, let me go back to the nosebleed section. I said,
nice. All right, I'm going to leave, Mike. Is that all right?
No.
Before Sal really starts attacking.
Yeah.
Could we get some plugs in? Is that
Yeah.
Is that okay? Could you tell me, do your plugs like you would on your radio show?
Yeah, what do you guys want to plug? Plug the podcast.
All right, Mike and I do Testosterone, he named it. It's on Gonzo Podcast Network. It's also on all the platforms. Go to gonzopodcast.com or iTunes or whatever. And also, I have The Slant. It's with Greg and Rob Cardizone, myself, Sal Coldonado. That's also on all the same shit, Spotify, iTunes, and at Mike Bichetti on Twitter and Instagram, at Sal Cola Comedy, and at Slant Show on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks, Opie, a lot.
Sal, pleasure to meet you, for real.
An honor, sir.
And I didn't mind any of those questions.
Thank you, Opie.
Mike, are you going to walk us out or
Yes.
what? All right, we're going to walk right out now.
My phone's going off.
I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get to the snacks that you bought us, but...
No, you want to take them? Take them for the road.
Nah, I'm trying to eat better myself there, Mikey,
Are you sure, guys? I mean, those aren't bad.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, they're veggie chips, pretzels, and the white cheddar
Mickey Mouse
popcorn.
on it, but that doesn't mean Mickey Mouse could be fucking communist,
Well, my little kids actually eat those veggie chips.
Are they good?
Oh, there's the dog. Of course the dog is yapping. Of course. It wants one last chance to bite me in the ankle. Sal, thanks, for real.
Opie, thanks
all
again,
right.
man. It's great.
Peace, all right?
Thank you.
We'll do it again. Mike, you going to walk me out? I got to say goodbye to your mom.
Okay.
Can I kiss your mom on the lips?
No, she's so freak.
No, why?
And now?
Just ask her if I could kiss her on the lips.
No.
What?
He wants to say goodbye. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Can I hug you?
Sure.
All right.
Want to hug an old lady?
You're not an old lady. Thank you for having us. This was awesome.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. You got a really solid son
I know, thank God.
with very good values. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yep.
This kid was brought up right. Mike's brother.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you. I hope the dog enjoyed the stay.
These days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still didn't need me.
Still didn't eat it after all that time with you cutting it up?
I'm gonna give her a little tie weed when you guys leave. Maybe she'll get the munchies.
Mike, you're gonna have to compete with your brother. He's funny. Yeah. All right, we're out the door. Yeah.
My sister, right? This is in Andy's house.
Huh?
Andy's house when we barbecue. Yeah, my sister has a house with a pool, right?
Nice.
And they barbecue. You guys want to come anytime?
I would love that.
On Sunday, they drink, they eat good, right, John?
My birthday party, 21st, she'll be 50.
50.
You know what? My
big
brother-in-law's a
50.
great cook. He cooks on the grill.
Okay.
Shrimp, anything. Just let me know.
Yeah, I
I'm
appreciate the
serious.
invite. For real.
We'll invite you. Thank
Mike,
you.
give me a
So
hug,
good to see you,
brother.
man.
Good to see you.
Thank you. It's so great to meet you.
And thanks for those-
Give me a hug.
Mom, thank you, Mom.
Mike, thanks for those kind words.
No, you
I
know
wish
what?
more people were brave to
They're morons.
tell some of the truth.
I'm not afraid to say anything.
I understand. I see you like American flags, by the way. A lot of American flags outside.
No, but the thing is, people don't realize in this, right?
Oh, the wind. Hold on.
First of all,
Joey hates wind. Go over
I'm sorry.
here. Yeah.
First of all, we all know how brutal this business is to begin with. Am I right or wrong? There's no right or wrong in it. But the thing is, I could stay here for 2 hours and name how many people you helped become famous or semi-famous or millionaires now or close to it.
A few
And they'll
millionaires.
turn their back on you.
Yeah. Simple as that.
The morons.
Simple as that. Even though they. Wow. The neighbor's got some nice cans, Mom. Sorry, Mom. Okay, she's slamming the door on me. Wow, who's that?
I don't know.
Is that a Goomba? Is that someone's Goomba?
I don't
All right,
really know.
they're leaving me. All right, bye. All right, thank you guys. All right, there you go. Oh my God. Okay. That was on. What do you think of that?
It was good. The house is weird. They all live there. 5 people live there.
Yeah, they're all adults living with Mom, but they all seem happy. What are you gonna do? All right, I'm tired. I gotta go home. So that's Mike Bichetti. I didn't even mention the beaker thing, did I? Whatever. All right, Joey, take it away. I'm going home. Hope you enjoyed the Opie Radio podcast. Go to opiearadio.com, get a t-shirt. Another way you could listen to the podcast as well. It's nice and easy, just one click over there if you're not close to your podcast app or whatever. All right. This was a lot of fun. Once again, thanks to Mike Bichetti and Sal and Mike Bichetti's mom and Mike Bichetti's awesome brother and the Yip Yap dog. All right, take it away, Joey.
If you like this episode, leave us a 5-star rating and comment at Apple Podcasts. Buy a hat or shirt at opiearadio.com. Check out the credits for this episode in the show description. And remember to subscribe to this podcast so you're always the first to know when a new episode drops at Opie Radio.